Hi everyone, it's Sue. I'm back today with another episode of our Let's Get Out of That Creative Rut series. And I'm again using scraps. So I've really started to love using my scraps. Once upon a time I'd just let them pile up, or I'd throw out, I'm very wasteful, I know. I would throw out something like that. But I've learnt to keep them and actually play with them. So I thought today, I just found this scrap of black. I don't even know what I'd used it for. Black cardstock. I don't use it at all, really, from memory. So, and I just was thinking scraps, and I've had quite a few triangles in my scraps from, I've been doing some handmade projects for the shop, and I thought it reminded me of crazy quilts, crazy patchwork, I think it was called. Now I have never done crazy patchwork before. I'm a quilter, but I've never done an actual crazy patchwork piece. So I know pretty much the rule of thumb is that you start with a piece that has 5 edges. And that's about all I know. So I thought I would just sit here. Once again, hopefully it's something that can get us out of that creative rut, and it's just a matter of playing. So it might be a little bit time consuming and fiddly, trying to find the right pieces or cutting the right pieces that will fit, but let's just have a go and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to just choose one scrap, and we've got one side here, and I'm just going to cut it 2, 3, and I don't think it, hang on, let me think about this, 4 and 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, we've got 6 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four, 5. We had 6. That was an effort. And we're going to start with that. I'm going to stick it in the middle of the piece of cardstock scrap, and then we're going to build around it. Once again, my glue's playing up. So I've got everybody home again today, so I'm sorry if there's a lot of background noise. Katie's doing washing, and Jim's gone to go and get some groceries, so he'll come bowling in at some stage. Maddie's upstairs cleaning his room, and yeah, there's all sorts of noise happening, so I'll apologize in advance. So I'm just going to stick that down in the center, and then we're going to work our way out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I've got 5 there. And basically now it's just a matter of grabbing some scraps, and we're going to build on that piece. So I'm going to add this piece, this rectangular piece there. I've added glue right to the end, and I don't need to do that. So I'm just going to line that up, and I'm leaving a gap so that you can see the black. So it looks a little bit like a, what do you call those? A lead light window as well, I guess, in the end. So these little bits that I'm snipping off here might be able to be used throughout the crazy patchwork as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to speed up the video and just let you see the process, and we'll see what we come up with in the end. So I hope you enjoy watching. My goodness, guys, I found that so much fun, so therapeutic. There was a little bit of fiddling around and trimming to get different shapes. I see that sort of thing doesn't worry me. If that sort of thing, you don't get much enjoyment out of that, this might not be your thing. I enjoyed it so much so that I had this other piece. I think I may have made cards at some stage with these, because these are really perfect rectangular shapes. This one I didn't start with 5, I just placed it down and just built from there, so that works as well. But you can see that's the piece where I started, and I started with 5 edges. Now these pieces in the middle, in between the black borders in the middle, they're not perfect, they're not exact. I don't mind. I think I'm going to cut this in half, and then I'll make journaling cards out of them, or tags. So I thought what I might do is just maybe this bigger one, I'll cut it in half. So it's about 9 inches wide, so 9 by 6. So I'll cut this in, say, 4.5. Find my cutter. So, I mean, how much fun are they? I love them. I think they're really cute. So I think I might just try and make a quick journaling card, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what they'll look like. I will back these with coffee dye paper and sew around them as well, like I normally do. Now in my scrap box as well, I found, if I can find it again, I found this wrapping paper that a friend of mine gave me. So I think I'm going to, I've obviously used some of it. I think I'm going to put just a fairly neutral focal point on the front. I'm just going to roughly cut out a couple. Actually, I like this little girl, I might just use her. But of course you could put anything on here. So now that I've done all that, I'm going to cover up some of it, but that's what we do, isn't it? So I'm going to just trim this down. I think I'll keep the white border. So this is quite thin. You could even use like cardstock or original photos if you've got them. I do have some more somewhere, but I'm not going to go searching for them at the moment. I'll just use what I've got on hand here. And I'm just wondering, because there's so many different colours there, I'm just wondering whether to back that onto a bit of packaging. I've got some packaging here. Once upon a time as well, you'll probably all cringe, I used to throw out my packaging as well, but I now use it to back tags and that type of thing. So I've always got it just behind me to grab. So let's just roughly glue this image onto here. I'm just using a glue stick because this is so thin. If I use the art glitter glue, it'll leave lines. You'll see the lines where the glue is what I'm trying to say. And I will sew around this as well. So I'm going to roughly just tear that away. And I'm quickly going to sew around that. So very quickly sewn around that. Tear this away. And I might just ink the edges of that. And I'm thinking I might put a little bit of tissue paper or something underneath just to soften that a bit as well. I'm just really roughly going to ink. If I get some on the photo, on the image, I don't mind that. I'm going to roll the brown paper a little bit in places. Got some tissue paper here, and I think I want to, sorry about the crinkling, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to glue that onto that. Not really sure what I'm doing here. I just want to add a couple of layers. And same thing, I'm just going to roughly tear. And I think I'm going to glue that again. So obviously I'm not going to leave it like that, but I'm just thinking just to add texture and add a little bit of flat colors because this is so patterned. So maybe I should have torn the first layer of tissue before I added the second, but anyway, that's okay. Let's just, I'm just really roughly tearing. Not even thinking about it too much. And then I'm going to tear the second layer as well. I'm going to crinkle all that pink tissue paper up. Okay, so it's not coming out as I had pictured it in my mind, but it's not too bad. We'll just do a bit of a play around. I'm just trying to scrunch it up and make it look more textured. I know, I think I like that. I think it's quite cute. I'll see if I've got some lace or something. I'm going to cut down the middle of this eyelet lace because I'm going to lose most of it if it's a waste to hide the top part if I'm only going to use part of it. I just want a little bit of lace peeking through. I'm just trying to work out which is the right side. I think that's the right side. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue on the base of that photo. So, I mean, you're not going to see much of it, but it's just another layer of texture. And I'm just wondering, I've got some embossed scraps of the coffee boxes that I normally use. I'll just grab those. So I was just wondering whether to add just a little piece of this, maybe. Just as another little piece of texture. So I'm going to glue that down. And I'm leaving most of that tissue paper loose just so that I can play around with folding it and ruffling it if I choose to. I'm also going to put some coffee dyed paper on the back. And then I'm just going to sew around that. So you can see I've really roughly sewn around that. I've done 2 lines of uneven stitching. And as you would know, I like to distress the edges, and I'm going to do that, and then I'll ink it. And I'm really happy with this. I've had so much fun doing this. Really something different and out of my comfort zone. I very rarely use images in my creations, but I think I will be making more of these. So it's just another way of collaging, I guess, in a sense. And I just think there's so much that you could probably end up doing using this technique. You could even use just neutrals in the background. You could use white cardstock so that you had white in between. You could use craft. You could use any colour at all. The only thing that I'd probably do is I would use something that was printed on cardstock for the image. That's just, I mean, I might make another one and try that and just see, just to add that little bit more substance to the card. And I love that tissue paper behind there. It just gives another little layer of texture. And I mean, it's just a matter of playing with that until you get it the way you like the look. The way you like it to look is what I'm trying to say. I can't get my words out today. And I'm not being gentle with it at all. So I am pretty chuffed with that. Another great idea to use for using up your scraps. But once again, if you've got 12-inch papers that are sitting there doing nothing, why not just cut into them and use them up? So that is really something very different for me. Very different. I'm actually looking at that and thinking I want to add something else to that. I just felt it needed something to sort of cover that edge there that it just stopped abruptly. Okay, so I feel a little bit happier with that. And then once that's dry, I might even add a little bulb pin and a little charm hanging from that. So, what do you think? I quite like it. And then there's another 2 that I've got to play with. I mean, I can cut these in half again if I want to. But I found that really fun to do and very therapeutic. I just switched off and just fiddled around. As I said, it was a little bit fiddly trying to get the exact shapes, but as you can tell from mine, the gaps in between aren't perfect, and it worked out in the end. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed that one today, guys. I hope you're all keeping really well, and until next time, I hope you get a little bit of creating time in. See you soon. Bye-bye.